Hello and welcome to the Stop Lying Down to Zip Up Your Jeans webinar. Our goal here is to lose 5 pounds in the next 7 days, and you are on this webinar to be able to help you achieve that. We're going to make sure that you have exactly what you need to make this work. So thank you for taking the time out to join us. Just to give you an overview of what we're going to talk about in the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to tell you my story and why I am here sharing the information that I've learned. We will go over what you're going to take away from this training call to make sure that you absolutely do succeed with what you're trying to achieve. We're going to talk about the weight loss roller coaster and then dig deep into the kickstart so that you can get started now. I'm also going to give you an overview of our virtual boot camp, our very successful virtual boot camp for people who are busy lives trying to fit work in. I'll give you some examples of our testimonials as I take you through the boot camp, and make sure then that you leave this call motivated and ready to go. So let's get started. First of all, my story is that over the years I've done several challenge groups, online by email, in person with fit clubs, and also using Facebook and Twitter, and we've done competitions. We've done different ways of making sure that it's innovative. So we've had hundreds of pounds lost in our challenge groups and boot camps. I am also a cancer survivor. It's been 12 years now that I have been cancer-free. I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma in 2000. December 1st, 2000, I was diagnosed as having cancer after having a cough that just wouldn't go away. Well, after about 4 weeks, when it came to looking at my options, I was told at the time that I had 6 months to live. So I had a choice. I had a choice to just curl over in the corner and just let the cancer take me, or to fight and make sure that I would be here for my friends, for my family, and everyone around me. And I made a promise then to make a difference. But and giving, being 6 months away from kicking the bucket, I know exactly what it is like to fight for what you need. And so since then, I've been determined to grab life with both hands and make the best of what I've been given, no matter what the situation is. So I feel that I can help you with your circumstances, whatever your issues are as far as weight loss and health in general, because I had to go the holistic path as well as the traditional path. So I did chemo and lost my hair and everything, but I know what it takes to build yourself back up. I have also struggled with losing weight. I've always been heavier than most in the past as a teenager and in my early 20s. And I remember in my early 20s, one time I was studying with one of my friends, and he took one look at me, a look at my face as we were studying, and he just burst out laughing. And I asked him why, and he said, "'Cause you've just grown fat." And I had, it just creeps up on you, and all of a sudden, you've reached a point where you don't even know how you got there. So that was one time in my early 20s. I managed to lose 20 pounds then, but as you get older, it gets harder to drop the weight. And so the very last time was a few years ago, where I had just ended a relationship, and I had the courage. Now, ladies, you know that this isn't something that you should do. I know I won't do it again. But after the relationship ended, I asked my ex why he dumped me. And he told me because he saw that I was just getting bigger and bigger, and he just didn't like the way I looked. I was crushed. I was devastated. I remember picking up the phone and crying to my girlfriend, just crying, just howling. But I made a promise, I hit rock bottom then. I made a promise that I would never put myself in such a position again, to where my weight has hindered me in any way, shape, or form, whether it's a relationship, whether it's, dating, because, dating as well. A lot of us, I've had those instances where I've stayed home because I don't want to go out, because I feel that I'm not dateable just because of the size I'm in at the time. So I hit rock bottom then and decided that I will not go back there. It's up to me to make the change for how I look. Since then, I have become a certified instructor in P90X, Hip Hop Hustle, and Turbo Jam, where I lead classes and I give advice. Many people know P90X, and right now there are not that many people who are certified to teach P90X. So but I am available if you have your P90X DVDs that have gathered dust over so many years that you haven't used. You can contact me and I will help you get to where you need to be as far as getting them out, dusting them off, and being able to use them and making a difference. My last client has lost 20 pounds over the past 90 days. And that, that there is a difference. So this year I've helped many people just dust off their existing DVDs with food and with exercise. It's not daunting. You can do it, and I'm here to help you. Over the years as well, over the past 5 years, I have taken up doing half marathons. It's mainly with team in training, just to make sure that I give back, because they raise money for blood cancers like leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma. So I participate in those. I do the 13.1 miles, just to make sure that I give back, and it keeps me fit as well, in addition to the other workouts that I do. So my promise with you on this call, my promise to you is that we are going to make a start on getting off this dieting roller coaster, going back, losing the weight, gaining it all back because we just lack the motivation. To me, this is so important, and we'll dig deeper into this to make sure that we stop going back and forth. We just do it. We just set our goals, get motivated, and keep going, and making it a lifestyle. And I'm going to show you how, because people talk about it being a lifestyle, but you're never given the tools on how you can make that lifestyle change and make it easier, not make it daunting. I'll also, my promise to you as well is, working with me, you'll be able to have a better relationship with food, understand what foods are best for your body, and we're going to talk about that in depth in this call. I want to make sure that by the time we end this call, and by this time next week, you would have lost weight and made a difference, and smashed that plateau. We will also talk about what types of exercises work for you, so that you can watch your relationships blossom and transform because of your newfound confidence. I have some of my clients who, after working with me, have been able to find new relationships, go on dates, and even get married based on the change that they have had. So many people in our society have health issues as a result of the extra weight that they've gained. And as you know, the older we get, the harder it is to lose it. But then the easier it has become to suffer from issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, and having low energy. And I am here to help you with those. So this training is for you if you know that you need motivation to stay on track. If you tend to feel overwhelmed and have no idea where to start, I know how that is. If you need help with meal choices, I am here for that as well. Because as we know, you may be told, well, replace your breakfast with a protein shake. But what I'm finding is so many people have a problem with, well, we've replaced the protein shake, and I know how to juice, and I know how to blend, I know how to buy it from GNC, but I don't know what to do for lunch, and I don't know what to do for dinner. I don't know what to do for snacks. So you will get help with your meal choices. And there are those who are so busy you don't want to have to cook all the time. You feel you never have time to work out, and that's such a common issue with so many people. I go through that, where you have different things. You have work, you have a part-time gig that you're doing, you have kids, you have a spouse, boyfriend, you just have life. Life gets in the way, but we work to make sure that you can find a way to fit in your workouts, because working out is not just about losing weight. It's about those endorphins. It's about that high that people who work out can get, and just helping is for your mental health as well. And then this is for you also, if you hate having to track your calories and sticking to a plan, we can work on that. So let's get started talking about this kickstart. This kickstart that is going to help you get moving, move from that plateau, and energize you, motivate you to get moving, whether it's another 10 pounds you have to lose, another 50 pounds you have to lose, 200 pounds. This is going to make you move. But I want to start with a foundation. And the foundation is that one size does not fit all. So even though some of us may go to Weight Watchers or Jenny Craig or the Atkins diet or the Zone, whatever diet, because a lot of us have tried every one, right? One size doesn't fit all. So even though you may be doing Weight Watchers, and even though for the first 2 months or so it may work, there'll come to a time where you hit your plateau. Well, what you have to understand is the fact that you're trying to make your 20 points is an example where, well, your plateau won't shift because you probably are allergic to dairy. You probably are allergic. You're not someone who can eat wheat, but just psychologically and because of society, you eat that to make your 20 points, 22 points, or whatever your maximum daily calorie intake is. But genetically, based on your environment, based on your blood type that I'm going to explain, your body type, one size doesn't fit all. So I am here to help you tweak that and know exactly what works for you, so that when you hit that wall, you can break that wall down. You can, again, this is where your lifestyle of a healthy and fit lifestyle is easier rather than harder, because it just flows. So let's dig a little deeper into blood type. Ever since my cancer diagnosis, actually, at that time I did stop eating red meat, and the fish and chicken that I was eating was only organic. And that was based on the blood type diet, and you can read more. You can Google. It's by Peter Damo. That's Damao, and his diet is based on blood types. We have O, A, B, and AB, and most people do know your blood type, even if you may not have been told. If you have gone for a blood test or anything, in the past few years, and you were to call, you would know what your blood type is. It's based on the fact that, and when you couple your blood type with your cultural makeup, your environment, your genetics, that will help you understand what foods work for you, and most importantly, if you listen to your body. So from his study, about over 6,000 individuals reported that after a month, 3 out of the 4 had improvement in a variety of health conditions, and weight loss was the effect most often observed. But a number of reports detailed improvements in digestion, resistance to stress, overall energy, and mental clarity. And so when you think about the fact that if you're someone who cannot, wheat, you have allergy to wheat and dairy, that is based on your genetics, your blood type. And so you will have energy problems, when you do either overeat or eat sugary stuff. It's all factored in there. And so you do need to pay attention as your foundation in order to move forward. So I have here as a summary, but there are details. There is even an app. So if you have an Android or you have an iPhone, and you go in for Android, if you go to your Google Play, or for iPhone you go to your Apple Store, you will see that type in blood type, and you can download the app for that. Or you can Google blood type, and you'll be able to see a summary of the foods that tend to work for you. So if you're a type O, that's a higher protein, lower carb diet. So especially if you're type O, the Kickstart plan that I'm about to show you will work for you. When I first did it, there was 10 pounds that had been hanging on for a very, very long time. I did the Kickstart diet based on my, lower carb. I was still having protein, and I wasn't hungry. and I shifted the 10 pounds and it has never been back. With type A, this is a more of a lower fat plant-based diet. So if you tend to prefer to be a vegetarian and you're type A, that may work for you. It's so important that so many people are told, well, I want to be vegetarian. Well, if you're a type O, you have to be very careful. Yes, you can still have your beans and legumes if you want to cut out meat, but still your makeup is different from someone who is type A. So I personally know that vegan is not for me. I've tried it. It was a great cleanse, but I'm not a vegan by nature. Types B and types AB, it's more of a combination. So again, look for the app or that information, or you can just, I have the information at the end of this presentation where I can send you all that information as well. So let's talk about how we're going to lose up to the 5 pounds now. And I leave it at up to 5 pounds just to be responsible. I'm not going to say you can lose 10 pounds in 1 week, because I feel that that is irresponsible, and it does depend on everybody. It's different. So the basis, the foundation of what we're going to do is we're going to cut out sugary soda. Luckily for so many, that is a given anyway. We're going to drink a minimum of 8 glasses of water daily. Do not eat past 10 p.m. And luckily that has been a habit for me where I can't eat past 10 p.m. But then there are those of you who may have shift work where you work nights, or you have to sleep before a certain time. So the guideline here is just eat 3 hours before your bedtime. So I do have a client who gets home at 7 a.m. Well, in that case, if you get home at 7 a.m., your bedtime is 8 a.m., just try not to eat, after, or a heavy meal after 5 a.m. Move at least 30 minutes a day. This is something that a lot of us take for granted because we always do. But if you're not someone who's into exercising, just try and make the effort to move at least 30 minutes a day, walking. I do have an app that has exercises for you. Again, on Google Play, you can download Fit Genie. That's FITGEANIE, and the same for the Apple Store. You can download those, and we have exercises for all fitness levels. So you can move 30 minutes a day at home. The exercises that I'm talking about are not ones that break the bank. But you can also, we do have the DVDs. I do have more information for you if you're looking for something to get you moving. Don't eat snacks not larger than your fist. If you have a big fist, then lucky you. But don't eat snacks that are larger than your fist. And I say here, track your weight daily. And by tracking your weight daily, don't do that if you have an obsessive nature. Because some people, that just drives you daily, where you're depressed because you haven't lost anything. And sometimes, depending on your body makeup, it does take time. Eat at least 1250 calories. Now, by this, you have to be responsible. Again, everything I'm saying here, you have to be responsible. If you are someone who weighs 250 pounds, 1250 calories will make you eat your fingers and thumbs after you've had your salad. I do have a guideline where just multiply your goal weight by 10. I'll get back to that. But don't starve yourself is the point of this. Do not starve yourself. 1250 is low depending on what your weight is. So don't starve yourself. Now, eat only from the top 2 tiers of Mishi's ladder. What I'm going to do is display Mishi's ladder here. It's a guide. It's a guide of foods that can help you. And they have different tiers. We have about 4 or 5 tiers. And we start here with the pious tier, which are, when we talk about clean eating, this tier is where you have your clean eating of mainly fruits and vegetables. And even with rice, we're talking about whole grain rice here. Just whole grain rice. If it's salsa, it's natural with no sugar or oil. Now, Shakeology is a protein, and once again, I will give you the information to Shakeology after this call. You will see that information where you can get Shakeology. It is full of all the natural antioxidants and supplements in one drink. Again, we have all these healthy fruits and vegetables for you. On the next tier, that's the happy tier. What I was so happy to see here was plantains. But those of us who know about plantains, that's not fried plantains, because you're defeating the purpose. If you can cut up your plantains and put them in the grill. There are those of us who know you can, as an African, you can, it's usually like put barbecued, basically put on the top of an open grill, but you can put them in the oven and brown them just like you would a sweet potato. So even though the plantains are on the happy tier, it doesn't mean fried plantains, for those of you who know what I'm talking about. It does say here buffalo. If that's your thing, then go for it. But these are much better. Now look at when you have your avocados. Most of us know that avocados, are a good source of fat. But again, you can't overdo it. Um, um, so we have here granola, raw with no sugar, and hummus as well, and feta cheese, which is low fat. Now, a note about the feta cheese. I know personally, I was still having the feta cheese when I was doing the kickstart. And so even though it is a healthy type of fat, I realized that it did disturb me a bit when I was doing the kickstart. So if you're averse to dairy, be careful of the feta cheese. On the Swiss tier, again, this is where you just have to be careful, because you have things like honey. Now, I know that honey, for me personally, has a high glycemic index, so it doesn't quite work for me. Agave works for me, and almond milk works for me, even, especially as I'm cutting out dairy, animal fat. And again, with your potatoes, baked or boiled, and French fries, if you must, baked as well. And lamb has to be lean lamb. So these are where, just before you're getting into a space where you're getting into your dodgy tier of your hot dogs and ice creams. It's a shame. I was sad to see sherbet here. But again, everything in moderation. And then the Newberg tier is where you really just have to try and avoid. So this is the Mishi's Ladder is a guide. So once again, you at the end of this training call is a way that you can just enter your information, or even right now, send a text to pick up your smartphone and send a text. Type in FitGenie, FITGEANIE, plus your email address to 69302, and you will get a copy of this Mishi's Ladder and all the information, the Shakeology information that I promised as well. You'll be able to get that by email. I'll send that. So send FITGEANIE and your email address on your cell phone. Send that to 69302. So going back, these are basics for what we're going to do. Now, as I said, I was going to talk about calculating your maximum calorie intake. Now, you can aim for your weight times 2 as your maximum number of calories a day if you want to lose weight. So, for example, if you're 250 pounds and want to aim for 165 pounds as your goal, then you're going to look for 1650 calories a day. And this is a guide. If you happen to go down to 1650 calories a day and you're still starving, again, you're trying to eat your fingers and thumbs, then up it a bit by 200 calories. Have a protein shake, have a protein bar, have something to take the edge off, because it could be that that's still too low for you. Now, let's start with the kickstart plan. It's split into days. We have days 1 to 3, 4 to 6, and day 7. Now, for days 1 to 3, we're looking at having proteins, green vegetables, eggs, and 3 oranges or a cantaloupe per day. And we'll explain this further. For day 4 to 6, you can have a grain at breakfast like oatmeal, a grain at lunch like brown rice or quinoa, and a non-fat dairy yogurt. Now, if you're averse to dairy, then don't go for the yogurt. Have an alternative, and no eggs on days 4 to 6. Day 7 is a cheat day, but again, it's what is within your specified calorie range. So if you are going for 1650, you're trying to get to 165 calories, that doesn't mean that you eat out 3 times that day. You still have to stick to the maximum calorie range for you at that time. And as I said, this diet can help you lose between 3 and 5 pounds a week if done properly, and make sure you're exercising as well. Now, as far as exercising, I would say still a brisk walk, moderate exercise. Because you're watching what you eat, I would hold off on doing insanity workouts actually all 4 or 5 days that week, just so that you're not stressing your body as well. Now, so for the kickstart for days 1 to 3, what you want to avoid is dairy, processed food. So your takeout food. You want healthy food. Avoid nuts, and because what we tend to find is, and it's happened to me, where I'd have almonds or cashews, but instead of having a handful, I'd have a bucket full because I may be hungry, and you get into a false sense of they're not so they're healthy. Not necessarily. Avoid frozen lunches, especially the ones like Smart Ones, because of the high sodium content. Avoid potatoes, breads, pastas, rice, salad dressings. With your salad dressings, use lemon juice or vinegar, and oil-based dressings are allowed, so you can go for your balsamic. Again, what you are allowed for days 1 to 3 are to eat 2 eggs per day, which was a good thing for me because I love eggs. Eat all the lean protein that you want. So remember, it's lean protein, so it's not a lamb chop or beef. Eat 3 oranges on each of those 3 days because that gives you energy. Or you can substitute the orange for a cantaloupe. You are allowed sugar-free Jello, 1 tablespoon of ketchup, and you can cook your food in olive oil and season your food to taste. And don't forget to drink plenty of water. So now days 4 to 6, and let's go with, say we start this on Monday. So Monday is day 1, Monday to Wednesday is days 1 to 3, and that tends to work for me. I tend to start on Mondays. So by day 4, which is Thursday, you can eat any meat except pork. Poultry, even with chicken or turkey, skin is allowed, and fish. And you can season to taste, but go easy on the salt. You can have any vegetable, 3 servings, a maximum of 3 servings of fruit, and 1 cup of oatmeal for the day. And again, day 7 is anything in moderation, but no more than your specified calorie range. So we've gone through, and I'm going to just quickly go over. So you have days 1 to 3, Monday to Wednesdays, where you can eat, you're basically having greens and protein. And then you can have 3 oranges or a cantaloupe and go with olive oil based dressing. Days 4 to 6, you're going with, you can add some grains, you can add some oatmeal and some brown rice or some quinoa or some wheat bread. And then day 7, in moderation, up to your maximum calories. So we've succeeded, and what I'm going to do is I am going to send you, make sure that I have your information. So I am going to send you the information that you need, so that we can follow along and you'll get recipes. So now that you know, come day 7, let's forward to day 7. Let's forward to next Monday. Your 3 to 5 pounds are gone. Now what? So you still have no idea what the best meals are. You need a sustainable meal plan. You need support and motivation that I provide. You cannot afford to let the weight come back. It's very important, because that's the cycle that so many of us find ourselves. So I'm going to show you about our virtual boot camp, which I had shown you this before. With our virtual boot camp, and we have so many people with so much pounds lost over this time, you can get off that roller coaster. You can sustain it. You don't have to be obsessed where every New Year's Day your New Year's resolution is to lose 10 pounds. But come every Thanksgiving, you gain 10 pounds. We're going to make you get a better relationship with food, understand what foods are best for your body, understand what types of exercises work for you, just have better relationships, whether friends, family, your work colleagues. It all makes a difference. And then get rid of these health issues like high blood pressure, diabetes, and low energy. So let's go now and look at the Fit 5 body system.